I remember this fun incident where my father was looking at me coming down the staircase. It was sometime around my graduation. So as I'm coming down the staircase, he's looking at me and he's staring at me, and I asked him, "Why are you looking at me this way?" And he says, "The way your chest is bouncing, it feels like you too need to wear something to support it, just like how women wear." So this is one incident that made me realize, okay, I'm not just fat, I'm beyond what fat is. And I've always been fat. I was very fat when I was very young, and I remember an incident. I think I was in my 4th or 5th standard. My dad had taken me to the butcher shop to buy some meat. He's talking to the butcher for a few minutes, and I asked him, "Dad, what are you talking to the butcher about?" And he says that, "No, Amin Bhai wants to go about, butchering you for meat value because he says that you look very fat and juicy." And I was in my 4th standard when my father made this joke, and I was in tears. I was convinced that my dad is going to sell me off to the butcher shop for meat value. So these are two of the most hilarious incidents I remember where people have made fun of my weight, and particularly coming from my dad, who was a very sarcastic individual. I found it hilarious, at the same time like a knife through the heart. I will never support somebody who talks about fat acceptance, where they say that, I'm fat, you should accept me for who I am. No, I will not. Being fat is as bad as taking up something like smoking or being a chronic alcoholic. Your body is slowly dying, and you having a smile on your face makes no freaking difference. When you are a person who is heavy, you will find it difficult to climb up the stairs. Even eating food becomes difficult. And that is not something that one should go about accepting. You would also go about complaining about people who smoke, and people say it's wrong to go about complaining about people who are overweight or fat. Giving them advice means they tell that you should be sensitive about a person's weight. No, I will tell you that you are overweight, I will tell you are obese, and you need to do something about it, because just like how I was once upon a time, feeling that, giving myself the impression that okay, all is fine, it isn't. There will be an awakening moment, there will be a nirvana moment in your life where you will tell yourself, no, how I feel and how I am, this lifestyle is not healthy for me and for the people around me. And that's when you realize that you need to start making a change for yourself, and you'll realize that fat acceptance is just a pile of garbage. They say that inner beauty matters more than anything else. Now, I'm someone who strongly disagrees with it. Beauty is how you give a physical review about something. I always remember the Renaissance artist Michelangelo. He didn't just leave a block of marble there and say that, okay, this has inner beauty. Imagine that there is something wonderful you can create out of the marble. He hit that marble as hard as possible, and he converted that into a lovely sculpture which you would call as Michelangelo's David. That is what real beauty is like. It's a physical review of something. Everyone wants a shortcut to success, and that's what everybody tries to achieve when it comes through a fat loss procedure or trying to find success through financial means or anything else. Being someone who's been trying to lose fat for a very long time, I'll tell you, people try every possible thing. Like some people say that, no, I'm going to take up a keto diet, I'm going to do a paleo diet, I'm going to do a vegan diet, and the list goes on. It's very evident to see the kind of desperation that people have in their faces when it comes to weight loss, because just like any form of success, people want to make weight loss as short term as possible, and they always want a shortcut to success. I see people trying to take fat burners, I see people trying to take magic pills, all trying to be a shortcut to that whole fat loss procedure. And I even see people visiting nutritionists, experts, all who give them relatively the same advice, which they just do not end up following. Everybody wants to ask bodybuilders, everybody wants to ask people who are, an expert, a so-called expert, and I put it in quotes, what is your secret to that weight loss journey? And I'll tell you my secret to weight loss journey. I am not someone who likes to compromise. I eat whatever I can, be it chaats, be it a bel puri, be it ice cream, but at the same time I make sure that I eat whatever it is as less as possible. I do not starve myself, I do not do any fast food, I don't do any fad diets. I just make sure that I'm happy with whatever I eat, and I do not compromise regarding my diet. At the same time, I keep my workouts intense, and I make sure that I am able to feel thinner and lighter every day. Now, just like every human being's accomplishment, which is an accomplishment of the mind, being fit is also an accomplishment of the mind. You convince your body that yes, you are capable of lifting this, yes, you are capable of doing this, and then you'll be able to see the progress come through gradually with, of course, a lot of patience. So September 2016 to January 2016, January 2018, sorry, I made a ton of mistakes. And from January 2018, I changed myself. I was very critical about what I ate, and I made sure that my body is treated with respect with every morsel of food that I ate. And over time, through weightlifting, through strength training, I was gradually able to shed that weight, which was upwards of 120, to down to about 94 or 96 kilos, which is my present weight. That first time when you see that you are losing weight and your clothes start to fit, they are starting to be looser, that's a wonderful thing. This comes from a guy who used to wear double XL sized clothes down to XL, and currently I wear size large when it comes to the garments that I purchase. Those are going to be your biggest motivators, and you will see that you will look better, you will feel better, and you will be able to shop more for yourself, because you will start to see that there are more clothes that you could go about buying on a day-to-day basis. What's not to love about that? Accept the truth and realize that there is a problem and go about fixing it. Being overweight or being fat is not a permanent thing in your life unless you want it to be a permanent thing in your life. So accept the fact that there is an actual health problem and take the active steps to go about fixing it. Be proactive, be real about the problem. For once, just be real. Eunoia means a beautiful thought. A beautiful thought here could be working out, it could be encouraging someone to work out, it could be encouraging someone to lose weight. All that is what makes it such a wonderful world and such a beautiful thought. Eunoia. I just finished writing a book regarding fitness, and I answer about 100 questions or more related to fitness. If you want to buy a copy of this book and start off changing your body and your mind, do let me know by simply leaving a message down below, and I'll get back to you.
Do like, share and subscribe.